So what are they saying now? Joining us on the phone is Georgia Representative Tom Price. He's a Republican in the House Financial Services Committee. Congressman, what do you think about the Fed taking on this new role as payczar?
Thanks, Dave. Well, just when you thought that the federal government couldn't intrude any more into the private industry, this is astounding. This isn't just CEO pay, and there's some mood across the land that CEO pay needs to be limited. This is tens of thousands of people in the banking industry, loan officers, et cetera, and there is zero authority for the Fed to do this without any congressional oversight in the current plan. So this is outrageous. It is astounding that this would be proposed, and we're going to demand that this be dropped.
You know, sir, will you be calling any hearings on this matter?
Well, obviously, the Congress isn't in session right now, but when we get back on Monday or Tuesday, I'll speak with the chairman of the Financial Services Committee, and we'll ask that this be addressed through the Financial Services Committee in the House. But the question really is, how on earth does the Fed think that they have the authority to do this?
Well, that's a good question, because according to them, they only need approval by their board. They need no congressional approval. Is that correct?
I don't believe so. I think this is way beyond the Fed's authority, and that's why we need to have Mr. Bernanke come before us. But clearly, this may be driven by the newest governor on the Fed, who was appointed to the central bank by Obama, Mr. Tarullo, who apparently has the belief that the federal government ought to be involved in absolutely every aspect of private industry.
But, sir, you know, David has brought up a great point, and that is the Fed is a lender, or actually, you know, the Fed is basically the backstop to the financial system right now, has pumped massive amounts of liquidity into the system, into the banking sector. You know, so shouldn't the Fed have the right to see what is going on with banker pay? Because some on Wall Street even admit that banker pay has led to excesses on Wall Street.
Sure, they certainly do have the right to see that, but they don't have the right to control it. This is wage controls that go way beyond any authority that the Fed may have. This strikes at the very core of our private sector, market-based economy, capitalist economy. There are individuals now in Washington who believe that the government knows best about every single aspect of our lives. It's a very dangerous place to be.
And, Congressman, we got on this road when we got into TARP, when in fact we began to broaden the definition of what a financial institution is to include all kinds of companies, insurance companies, companies that don't normally, credit card companies like American Express. They're all banks now. So the purview, the oversight authority of the Fed grew exponentially. Should that be cut back?
Without a doubt. It's why I opposed all of this from the very beginning, because you could see this growing mass of government coming, and you could see that their answer was going to be more and more control of every aspect of the financial industry. So again, this isn't just the top CEOs. This is tens of thousands of employees in banks and other now described as financial institutions across this land.
But the FDIC does have a rule on its books that dates back to the Depression era that says they themselves, the FDIC, can crack down on banker pay if it's excessive, unreasonable, or it can lead to material loss at a bank. So couldn't the FDIC step in here?
Absolutely. In fact, that would be their role. It ought not be the Fed's role in this at all. But again, the FDIC's activity in this arena has been very, very limited. We haven't been in an environment where the Fed has usurped this kind of authority that I'm aware of, and it is destructive to the free enterprise capitalist system that has resulted in the wonderful, remarkable opportunities that all of us have enjoyed.
Well, we're glad you're going to bring it up with the House Financial Services Committee. It certainly needs to be investigated further before it becomes enacted. Representative Tom Price, thank you very much for being here, sir.